Okay guys, I was going to show you a little bit of what I've been working on. So for this example, I'm going to use some of the data that I got from the flight the other day when we were looking for that small child. So this is basically the area that this is going to cover. It's 100 acres right here. And I usually map these things out with Google Earth. I can do it on the fly. A lot of times I'll do this and export KMLs and put them straight in my controller. And then I work with it from there. In that mission to cover that 100 acres, I took roughly 581 images, I think. So I ended up processing a couple ways. One is using Pix4D React. And in this program, it took about, now I have a pretty powerful machine. It's a i7 with 128 gigabyte of RAM and a 4090 video card. i9 with 128 gig and a 4090 video card. And this took about 7 or 8 minutes to push through these 500 images to produce this orthomosaic right here. This was from 300 feet. My mapping program that I normally use, Pix4D Mapper, makes a slightly cleaner image, but it took 56 minutes to push through that one. And this is pretty decent for the amount of time that's involved here. So that was about 30 minutes of flying and about 7 or 8 minutes of processing. And you can see, we can see pretty good details all around. Pretty decent resolution. I was trying to, this is early morning, I was going to go back and fly again at lunch. I was trying to see down in these dark rows to see if I could see something white down in there. Midday sun would have been better, but this was our first flight early, trying to just get out there and cover some ground. And you can see here the discoloration of the pond where the child fell in, I suppose. I surmise that when he struggled, it pushed this slime back, and then after he drowned, it closed back in on him. But maybe that's a telltale sign I should look for in the future on something like that. But anyway, like I said, that took about 7 or 8 minutes to push this out, and then we could take a look at it. There's another piece of program too that I came up across. Texas Search and Rescue made this for free. You can download it. And I'm gonna just pick the folder here. So this is search 1, covers that 100 acres, and I'm gonna put an output folder, and I'll just do it here. And then I'm gonna leave that stuff alone. We're gonna do color range. I'm gonna pick a color. So I'm gonna pick a blue. I'm just gonna pick a middle blue. We'll see what we come up with. Okay. And up here you can give it a bounding range. So this is your blue. It goes to this dark and to this light. You can change it if you want. If you want to see the part of the spectrum, you can see that little blue part of the spectrum is what we're looking at. And it's going to scan these images. So I'm going to do that in real time and let it go. It's pouring through the pixels of each image, and you can see it's starting to have some hits, and most of them are no areas of interest. It'll be done here in just a minute. It doesn't take long, probably less than a minute, I'd say. So basically a 30-minute mapping session. And when it gets back on the ground, 7 or 8 minutes in the other program, and should be getting close to the end of this, I think. I thought we'd be done. Okay, it took 55 seconds. Okay. So 7 or 8 minutes in the other one and 55 seconds in this one, and we've scanned through it 2 different ways. Now here's where this one gets interesting. So let's look at the results here. And I'll make this larger so we can see it better. Okay, so in this picture we had 3 items, and you can see it circled them. And of course it was picking blue toys. And then as we cycle through the images, we'll see the drone is moving and picking up new things here. And keep going through here. It's going to map this area for a while, so there's going to be a lot of hits right here. Blue car. Okay, now we're in a different area. So what's the blue here? Oh, there is a tarp under the porch of this house right here. Same tarp. Getting a car, hitting on a car too. So anyway, if we broadened up the search terms a little bit, it might catch more blues, but this is not bad for what we were looking at. I thought I'd pass it along. I did another test. Oh, let me scroll back out. I did another test using John Deere green. So I went to go back to React. I went and picked a tractor right down here. It sampled the roof, and since there's a lot of green in these pictures, I thought it'd be nice to see if it can pick out that green. And there were some false positives, especially along in these areas here, but actually it picked it out very well. So there were probably 50% of the hits were false positives. I mean, this is a lot of green to go through, and you're picking something green. So it picked this tractor and this implement. It picked that tractor. There was a tractor in the highway down here. It picked it up earlier. So at any rate, wanted to pass those 2 along to you. And this over here will also do, this one also does thermal. So you can map in thermal and give it a temperature range. Let's say you wanted to give it from 84 to 101, and it would search through those thermal images at the same speed and highlight anything that hits your criteria. So that's pretty interesting to me. At any rate, I'll talk to you guys later.